Hello everyone, Jim here, Elkie here. Today we're outside. Yesterday we did the play biting video. We still may have to address play biting outside and inside. We're at level 1 on the bite and we're going to stay there until we feel the need to move up. I felt like this morning she was doing pretty good with the play biting on level 1. That wasn't a video, but I have not gone up yet. I will get the sense of when I need to go up, and then I'll go up to level 2 and I'll not go back down to level 1. The scope of today's video is that we start to teach leash handling at a very, very young age. So when she comes home or he comes home from your breeder or from wherever you get, if it's a small puppy, we want to put that leash on as young as possible. We want her to drag the leash around. Of course, we want to supervise her so she doesn't get hung up and she doesn't start to chew on the leash like she did on the play biting video yesterday. Okay? What happens is she's going to learn on that leash that you have control. You are not, unless you're taking her out to use the bathroom, you are not going to let her take you where she wants to go. See how she's walking around right now? She's understanding, and it's a lot easier to control physically, that she can only go so far. As I told you yesterday, she's a very determined little puppy. So she constantly tests her boundaries right now, and it doesn't bother me. It just shows a lot about her personality. One of the things about the leash handling is when she pulls tight on the leash, you do not walk with her, okay? You stand your ground. If you're inside sitting down watching television, you stand your ground. When that leash gets tight, you just sit there for a second, and after about a half a second to a second, if she doesn't give or stops pulling, you tap the leash just like this, tap it back just like good girl, and then you want to see recognition from her that she's going to stop, okay? So what will happen? The leash gets tight, holds it for a half a second or a second, we tap back very lightly. No, no, good girl. So that consequence was for grabbing the leash and putting it in her hand, in her mouth. And here we go again. No, still level 1 as I said at the beginning of the video. Good girl. Leash gets tight, tap, good girl. She stops. Where we as humans lose is when we get up and we follow her. She starts to understand she can control the walk or wherever she wants to go. She leads, we follow. Don't want that to happen now or later, unless she becomes a search and rescue dog or a tracking dog or participates in one of these dog sports that you want her to pull on a leash. Tap, tap, tap. So these taps, if I wanted to, I could tell her no. I definitely would be telling her no if I got hold of her at an older age, say 4 to 5 months. When I tap that leash, I would begin to say no. It's entirely up to you what you want to do right now. I don't mind either way. Can't hurt to say no, but remember what I said, we want to find reasons to praise our puppy at least 20 times more during the day than we provide a consequence. That tap on the leash, as light as it is still a consequence, okay? Good. She wants to explore. It's a great day. It's nice and cool outside, but it's not going to happen. Good girl. So that's what we do with the leash. When we're ready to start to walk, dig into my pocket, get a little treat. I might get her attention. Hey, baby, let's go. And see what I'm doing. Walk her a little bit. No, that's right. So you see, I walked and she started to lose her focus. Good girl. Treat, pet, love. Let's go. Let's go. Hop up, hop up, hop up. If you dropped it, you lost it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. Come on. Tap, come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Tap, 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 tap. Atta girl. Good girl. I know some of you have had that happen before. where our dog will lay down, will start to roll, will start to jump, will grab the leash. If you stop when she does that, she learns that all she's got to do is roll over, bite the leash, do the gator roll, whatever the case may be with your puppy, and she wins. So it's always good if you can be in a soft place. If you notice when she did not get up, I just kept tapping and I kept what? Moving away from her, teaching her she has to walk with me. Now the purpose of this is not to go on a 10-15 minute walk right now. It's just teaching her to be with you. As you start to move, she follows. Tap. Good girl. Nothing wrong with using a treat here. My focus of the treat is not when she's doing that, but when she's actually looking at me or trying to decide what I want to do, which is not happening yet. Atta girl. Tap, tap. Good girl. Atta girl, good girl. That's good, good. Turn again. So I'm starting to give her the treat with the let's go. And when she's doing it the way I want. Now what does that mean? That means when she's focused on us or looking at us and walking with us. When she's out at the periphery doing her thing, I am not going to tell her good girl. I am not going to give her a treat. I'm going to wait till she starts to move towards me. So important. We want to teach that focus on us. In fact, a lot of times when I give a treat, good girl, I want her looking at me. Why did I give her a treat there? Maybe you could say the sit. Maybe she thought the sit. But the reason I gave her the treat just then is because she looked at me. And when they look, we want to praise that. It's so important to get that focus, okay? I bet you. Now, good girl. Right, right. We'll do the sit later, but I don't know if you noticed, I could see it, I could sense it. She was watching me and ready to sort of follow my lead. She came up front, I had the treat, and I just had a girl, no treat that time, had a girl. Break, 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 break. Okay, good girl. That's for another video, but you saw it. Good girl. There you go. Now, if you notice, she looked at me, I praised her, and then she started coming into me. That's what we want to start building on, okay? We can use treats. We want to use treats. If it motivates our puppy, use them, use them, use them. We can always take them away. It's so important, though, when we give a treat, we give words. Good girl, touch, okay? The treat and positive emotion. This could be a toy too. She's crazy about toys, as you saw in the video. I could have a toy out here and do the same thing with her, okay? So our let's go is going to be real short right now. Okay, baby, let's go. Right, atta girl. Good girl. 5 minutes or so at a time. We're going to stand our ground, indoors or outdoors. If she starts to pull on the leash, we're going to tap back. It's up to you if you want to tell her no or not. But as soon as she gets to the end of that leash and she sort of gives or stops, we want to give her a little bit of praise to tell her that's the job. Your job is not to pull me all over God's creation. The only exception to this, other than later if she becomes a working dog or some sort of sport dog that she'll need to pull a leash, the only exception is when we're taking her out to use the bathroom. So important. Then I'll go to her place. We're going to talk about house training. I'm going to go to her place to use the bathroom. I'm going to let her use the bathroom. And if she's smelling, trying to get in the act of using the bathroom, I may follow her a little bit in that area just so she can get situated the way she needs to get. That's pretty much it right now on leash handling. As much as you can, you put it on. One last thing, and we'll talk about this in another video, but to always stop on a good note. Hey. Good girl. Notice I got her attention, I took a couple of steps back and she came right to me. We do this a number of times. It's going to make her want to do these things. Right now she's doing it for the treat, maybe for the excitement of because she loves her owner, you, okay? But good girl, that was a pet for sitting there looking at me. Remember, we praise 20 times more during the day than we bite. We look for moments that seem that they are not that special, but she's doing what we would love for her to do. Those are the praise moments, okay? Good girl. So we're going to work on it. We're going to do small let's goes, which is my walking command, for just a few minutes at a time. We're not trying to go down the street yet. I think that's all we need to do for the leash handling. Small taps. When we start obedience, we're going to change the way we handle the leash. But she's so small right now. Tap, tap. Good girl. Good. And you can see I haven't really done a lot with her. She's learning this firsthand. Again, I wanted it to be so you could see what happens as it happens. Build on success. Always try to quit on a good note. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.